A Florida man barges into a CVS and demands all the bottles of Viagra. A Florida man jumped into the lagoon at the Epcot Center in order to win a bet. A Florida man broke into a woman's house and sat on her couch. And the Floridaman Games are coming in 2024, featuring Floridaman obstacles and Floridaman contests. These are the weird stories for Friday on Weird AF News. And they are all from the state of Florida, because on Friday we only do weird news from Florida on Weird AF News. It's Florida Friday. Let's do it. A Florida man barged into a CVS store and demanded all the bottles of Viagra. Not just some of the bottles of Viagra, not a lot of bottles of Viagra. You heard me. I want all the bottles of Viagra. He's got a party to go to this weekend. He's very busy on Halloween being a porn star. That's his costume. We have a Florida man here charged with some felonious activity after the police say he threatened employees at a CVS pharmacy, demanding, quote, all bottles of Viagra. He also demanded some Adderall and some other drugs, it says. Let's keep reading and find out what else he likes to party with. Our Florida man star of the story is a young individual named Tom Muse. He's only 23. For some reason, his equipment isn't working, even at this young age. How sad, how sad. At 23, man, was I working good. It was all, it was all up and away. No problems there, but Tom is having some issues. So how did he solve his problem? Well, he's a Florida man, so he no doubt had a weapon. Walked into an Orlando CVS, handed the pharmacists a note stating that he was conducting an armed robbery. He instructed the pharmacist to bag the available bottles they have of some controlled substances, or else he would shoot the person closest to him. That's right. So not necessarily the pharmacist. It could have been the person behind him in line, the person next to him. The person closest to him is who he threatened to shoot. After being handed the bag of drugs, he left the store and was arrested by police following a short foot pursuit. Once in custody, our Florida man admitted to the police that he traveled from Jacksonville, all the way to Orlando to carry out this plan, and confessed to a similar robbery elsewhere in Central Florida. This guy's just hitting up all the CVS's for his Viagra. In his defense, he just got on a dating app this past week, and he just wants to be ready for all his dates. Perhaps he was considering a move to the villages and just wanted to fit in. You know how they like the Viagra in the villages. I covered a story about a man that was hoarding Viagra in the villages a couple of weeks ago. Now, I have some juicy details about the incident. Apparently, the Florida man entered the CVS, walked straight to the pharmacy, and handed a note to the worker at the counter. According to the police, at first, she didn't even read the note, instead began asking routine questions of the Florida man. I'd like to imagine she was asking some health-related questions. So, do you have any allergies to medications, sir? You're requesting some Viagra. Are you suffering from ED as a result of antidepressant medications? We need to take your blood pressure, sir. We want to know how your heart is doing before we give you these Viagras. Just read the note, lady. The note says everything. I know there's something on the note, but I have some questions for you, sir. If you could stand over there, we're going to take your blood pressure and weigh you. The police posted the actual note that he gave to the pharmacist on their Twitter account for some reason. The note says at the top in large font, "This is armed robbery. Please cooperate. I don't want to hurt you. You are not to alarm anybody, or I will shoot the closest person to me. Please follow these directions, or I will shoot the closest," and they forgot the T, "the closest person to me." What if there isn't anybody near him at the time? I will shoot the closest person to me, or the closest person outside the door in the parking lot. I may shoot someone in line at the front of the store on the way out to the parking lot. I'll shoot somebody in the Halloween section if you don't hand over the following. It says, bag the following drugs: oxycodone, all bottles; hydrocodone, all bottles; Xanax, all bottles. Okay, we get it. You could just bag all bottles of the following. Man, someone's got to teach this guy how to write more concise robbery notes. And it says Adderall, all bottles. Liquid codeine, all bottles. And then lastly, Viagra, all bottles. And then it says, when finished, place the note in the bag and lay down or I will shoot. It doesn't say who. It doesn't say he'll shoot the closest person. It just says he'll shoot. According to the report, one pharmacy worker filled the bags with the drugs that were requested. Did you put all the bottles in there? I said all bottles. Read the note. It's signed by a doctor. Another employee took a picture of the note and texted the store manager that they were being robbed. How'd you like to get that text if you're the store manager? One of my employees is texting me, hold on. She's probably asking to go to lunch early. Oh, no, turns out we're being robbed. Someone wants all the bottles or they're going to shoot the closest person in the Halloween section. It says here the people working at the pharmacy fulfilled the request in the note, putting it in the bag when they were finished collecting the drugs and handing it to the defendant. Do you mind if we take a picture of your note before we put it in the bag? We just want to keep a record in case you happen to return. We want to make sure that we have your medications on file. Police say they confronted the Florida man as he was leaving the store. That was pretty quick. They caught up with him on foot while he was still holding the bag and holding the note. Yeah, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Robbery 101 is you eat the note afterward. You eat it. You swallow it. That way there's no record of it, although they took a photo of it and it's on Twitter forever as a record. The affidavit says the Florida man later confessed and even apologized to the store workers. Did he actually go back to the CVS and apologize to them in a note? Oh, you're back again. Okay, how did the drugs work out? Oh, you have a note for us? Well, before we read the note, we'd like to take your blood pressure again and see how you're doing. You want to take his temperature, Marcy? No, read the note. I'm saying I'm sorry. If you don't read the note, I will say I'm sorry to the person closest to me. It also says here during the confession, the Florida man claims he did not have a weapon on him at the time. So this was just pure faith, working on faith. It says he's facing some charges such as robbery in a mask. That's a separate charge. There's robbery and then there's robbery in a mask. So, and that's kind of weird. Well, everybody's still wearing masks, it seems. He is being charged with trafficking or possession of controlled substances, et cetera, et cetera. He's probably going to do some hard time for this, right? I mean, they'll probably give him a stiff sentence. You know what I'm saying? Guys, come on. A Florida man jumped into the lagoon at Disney World's Epcot Center. This incident occurred on Monday evening when a guest jumped from a bridge into a body of water at the Epcot Center. If it's social media glory that he was seeking, well, mission accomplished because this went viral. I'm sure some of you have seen the video. But of course, glory doesn't come cheap. And this particular guest's participation in this mindless lagoon dip cost him dearly. He's been officially banned from visiting the Walt Disney World Resort for an entire year. Oh, boy. Very strict, Walt Disney. Then again, new details have come to light, and this incident might have actually paid the man dearly. According to the details that have surfaced, this was a bet that may have netted this man $60,000. $60,000 to jump into the lagoon and get banned from Disney. That's like win-win right there. Guy made out like a bandit. $60,000 and you never have to go to Disney? I'd do this for $6,000, bro. Totally. So this took place on Monday afternoon at 5:30 p.m. A man who has yet to be publicly named climbed over the railing atop a bridge called, near the Italy Pavilion at Epcot's World Showcase. Once he was over the railing, he stood atop the bridge for what seemed like a very long time, long enough at least for a cast member or two to potentially notice that the man was standing on the railing above the bridge. However, if any of the cast members witnessed the man's preparations for his ensuing jump off the bridge, the incident captured online doesn't show any intervention on the part of the Disney World staff before the man took a swan dive off of the bridge into the lagoon below. As soon as the Florida man disappeared under the water, he resurfaced, smiling and cheering. He then climbed up over a tethered gondola toward dry ground. As he made his way back to the promenade, he held his arms up as several guests cheered him on. While many guests who participate in dangerous stunts inside Disney's theme parks do it for the thrill or for views across various social media platforms, There was reportedly something more in it for the Walt Disney World guest who went feet first into the lagoon at Epcot. A TikTok video posted by apparently one of the man's friends hints at the reason for the man's jump, and that was money. The man reportedly leaped into the freezing cold water to come back the victorious winner of a bet that netted him $60,000. But what a nice friend to offer $60,000 to jump into the lagoon, but I'm not sure this is a great friend because they tagged the guy in the video. They tagged him, so basically calling him up. He's tagged as Elite Trainers. That's his username on TikTok. And it says at the time of this publication, there aren't details about who exactly uses the name on the social media platform. But, I mean, those things are easy to discover. It says here, the man even made a comment in the TikTok video himself saying, quote, 1 year ban, no fine, no arrest for everyone wondering. I mean, this is where we're at now. You could just pull stunts like this and just no one cares. No one cares. We're doing it all for the social media, guys. Just shenanigans on social media. Wow. People will often risk their life for just a few views and some acclaim on social media, it seems. I'm not sure how dangerous it is jumping into this lagoon. It doesn't indicate whether or not there are alligators in this lagoon. I just assume that there are because, as you know, in Florida, there's alligators everywhere. Cue up the music, Jonesy! Got an alligator in my backyard and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Got an alligator in my patio and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Had an alligator at my birthday party and nobody cared. Nobody cared. Had an alligator in the front seat of my Volkswagen and nobody cared, 'cause it's Florida. Alligators everywhere and nobody cares. In Florida there's alligators everywhere and nobody cares. A Florida man broke into a woman's home and sat on her couch. The story is out of Marion County. A man is behind bars after he forcibly kicked his way into a woman's home. His name is Darrell Davidson. He's been arrested and charged with criminal mischief after an incident that took place several days ago. The 39-year-old Florida man was reportedly yelling and screaming, being belligerent outside a woman's home. That's when he tried to get inside the home by kicking the front door after the woman denied him entry. On the second kick, apparently, the Florida man allegedly broke the door right off the frame, and that's when the door opened. That's when Davidson entered the woman's home and then sat on her couch. He was awfully tired from kicking down her door, no doubt. It says here the Florida man strangely didn't try to commit any crimes while he was inside the woman's home. Instead, he sat on the couch, asked for a glass of water and something to smoke. He was exhausted, the poor guy. He'd been kicking down doors all day. He's like, I need a break. Can I get a glass of water? Perhaps a Marlboro. Do you have any Marlboro 100s? I like those long ones. It says, shortly after, the Florida man Davidson grew belligerent and resumed yelling at the woman. It doesn't say why. Perhaps it was tap water. He's like, I can't drink this tap water, lady. This is Florida. You know what's in this water? Flesh-eating bacteria, no doubt. Maybe he was mad at there not being anything to smoke. She's like, I'm sorry, I don't have any cigarettes. Would you like some chewing tobacco? I like to chew tobacco myself. It's a little messy. I could give you a little cup to spit in if you'd like. Please don't spit on my rug. I just had it cleaned. It remains unclear whether or not the Florida man and the woman knew each other as well. It seems like you need to get these details before you release all of this information. I mean, it's kind of pertinent. It says here the Florida man was taken into custody at his home nearby. He's a neighbor, apparently. Perhaps he was upset about her Halloween decorations. The deputies say he spontaneously kicked the woman's door in because he was trying to warn her that she was in danger. Oh, there is a reason, a motive behind it. But then again, it doesn't say what he thought she was in danger for. Maybe he wanted to warn her about a local drag queen bingo event that was going on down at the local bar. They're very afraid of drag queens. Maybe he was warning her about some books that he was scared of. There's a lot of book banning going on. Floridians are very afraid of books, it seems. Living in a world where just gators are everywhere and people breaking down your front door. Yet books are scaring all kinds of Florida people. They lose their mind over the books. Want to create a podcast? Spotify's platform lets you easily make, record, distribute a podcast everywhere, even earn a little bit of money, all in one place too, for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters. You record and edit on your phone or your computer. You send it to Spotify, and everywhere podcasts can be heard. They even have video podcasting options. Spotify for Podcasters allows you to earn money with ads and subscriptions as well. Best of all, it's free. Try it. Download Spotify for Podcasters or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your life, man. Yay! Introducing the Floridaman Games, featuring Florida Man contests and Florida Man obstacles. A lot of you sent me this amazing story. I couldn't wait to do it. The article says, guys, this ain't the Olympics, but a group of Floridians plan to host competitions themed according to the collective antics of the beer-loving, gator-possessing, rap sheet-heavy, mullet-wearing social media phenomenon known as the Floridaman. Organizers of the Floridaman Games describe this competition as, quote, the most insane athletic showdown on earth. The games will poke fun at Florida's reputation for producing very strange news stories involving guns, drugs, booze, and reptiles, or some combination of all four. The organizers of the competitions say on their website, quote, this isn't just a competition, any old competition. No, this is a one-of-a-kind Floridian spectacle. This sounds amazing, man. I want to know all about this. Where is it? When is it? It's brilliant. It sounds to me like they've kind of rebranded the Darwin Awards, you know? But it sounds amazing. I'd rather watch this than the real Olympics, to be honest with you. Okay, so the contest is planned for next February in St. Augustine. Next February? You mean this February? Oh, I need details, man. I need to go to this. You guys want to meet me here? This would be amazing. Okay, among the contests, according to the organizers, we have something called Evading Arrest Obstacle Course. In this, contestants have to jump over fences and run through yards while being chased by real police officers. That sounds amazing. Shouldn't they be on a controlled substance? Shouldn't there be a gator pit at some point in this obstacle course? There's something called the Category 5 Cash Grab, in which participants try to grab as much money in one of those wind-blowing booths. And they have something else called Beer Belly Wrestling. And the Beer Belly Wrestling event sounds nice. I've gone to the FloridamanGames.com website because I know there's got to be more contests than just a couple that they've mentioned. And lo and behold, there is. We have the weaponized pool noodle mud duel. You can test your strength inside the Floridaman Games Coliseum, which is basically a massive above-ground pool. That sounds nice. The evading arrest obstacle course they mentioned. Cash grab. A catalytic converter, 2 bikes, and a handful of copper pipes. Race against time. Compete head-to-head in a race that lets you live a day in the life of a Florida man. Maybe they got to steal some catalytic converters. No, I need to find out more about this. The Beer Belly Florida Sumo. Then they have some referees that they're listing who are going to judge the contest, and you can register your team here. You can become a vendor. Oh, this sounds amazing. The date is February 24th, 2024 at Francis Field in St. Augustine, Florida. I hope this is real. I hope they follow through with this. This all sounds so amazing, but they need to add more contests. I mean, come on, man. You only have a few contests. Man, they should reach out to me. I will donate my time free as a consultant to give suggestions for Floridaman Games. I mean, this is right up my alley. I'll just rattle a few off from the top of my head. What can we do here, guys? How about a drag a fast food employee through the drive-thru window while shotgunning a beer contest? That sounds amazing, right? What about like a best neo-Nazi protest? High dive into a Disney fountain. That's very good. How about like a Grand Theft Auto contest where you have to like steal a Hyundai and get to the nearest Walmart and they time you? How about you could do a DIY meth pipe making contest as well? Retrieve your drug paraphernalia from a gator's mouth. What about that? How about the bath salt gator wrestling contest? That sounds amazing. But how fast can you steal your mom's car and then run her over with it? That's a good one. Or how about the most convincing first cousin flirting competition? That's perfect for Florida. Come on now. Now, it says here the mastermind behind these Florida games is Pete Melfi, who's a St. Augustine resident and a Florida man himself. He told the media, quote, "Well, we thought, how can we really play on these Florida man headlines that we're always hearing so much about? Someone gave me the idea to make it into an athletic competition, and whoo, it's going to be a wild day of mud games and Florida-style obstacle courses. It's going to really be an opportunity to live that Florida man life for an entire day if you want to." According to the website, general admission tickets to this event are going to be sold for $45. It doesn't indicate whether or not you have to pay a fee to enter the contest. I'd imagine in order to apply, you have to have at least one felony and 4 DUIs, right? And puke on your shirt. And it doesn't say what you win either. What do you think they're giving out if you win the Florida Man Games? Like, maybe like a wife beater that says "Don't say gay" on it? What do you think? Oh, man, this is amazing, guys. I need to go here. How about we agree to meet here in 2024? Who's in? Who's down? Call the show 646-450-2012. I'm dead serious. Let's form a team and enter some contests as well. This gives me a good reason to grow out a mullet. On the meth again. I just can't wait to get on the meth again. I'm looking forward to wrestling the gator in my shed. I can't wait to get on the meth again. Yay! Hey, my friends, loyal listeners of the Weird AF News podcast. Thanks for spending a little time with us. And I want to thank everybody who sent me Florida articles the past 48 hours. Very, very helpful. I appreciate that. You can always email me weird stories to funnyjones@gmail.com. You can also slide them into my DMs on Instagram @funnyjones. Follow me on the gram @funnyjones. And you can keep up to date with whatever shows I have going on. Going to be going to Texas in a few weeks. Back to Dallas, guys. So those of you in Texas that want to see me, it's like it's mid-November. I'll give you all those dates. Just reach out to me. I'll give you the details. Put you on the guest list. So come on by, have a shot with Jonesy. Maybe have a smoke in the parking lot. Just kidding, guys. Just kidding. It's Texas. That stuff's illegal. It's illegal in Texas, guys. Instead, we'll do something that's legal in Texas, like show each other our guns in the parking lot. Isn't that? That sounds like a good time, right? Hey, no pun intended. Anyways, I want to give thanks and praise at this portion of the show because it's the outro, and that's what we do. We give thanks and praise in the style of Bob Marley. I want to give a shout out to Lisbeth. Lisbeth bought me a coffee off my website, weirdafnews.com. That's a place you can go if you want to support the show. You can buy me a coffee. You can join the Patreon as well. That's like buying Jonesy a coffee a month. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Go to weirdafnews.com. Buy me a coffee. Elizabeth bought me a coffee. You can write me a note, too, a little love note when you buy me a coffee. She wrote, "Jonesy, my daughter Olivia, who is 12 years old, loves your show." Wow, another kid loving the show. That's 3 this week that have been brought to my attention. Well, in the past 2 weeks, anyways. So surprising to me to learn that kids like my show. I never thought it would be. Anyways, Olivia is 12 years old. Shout out to Olivia, wherever you're at, Olivia. It says here, Olivia accidentally found the show last year while setting up her Alexa flash briefing, and now she has the family listening to to your show, Jonesy, the whole family. We all made it a part of our flash briefing on Alexa. It really makes our morning with laughs and WTFs. Thank you for always making our mornings. As always, good luck with your life, man. Well, good luck with your life as well, Elizabeth and Olivia and your whole family. Everybody listening on the Alexa right now. How lovely. Who knew that this ridiculous podcast that I host inside a closet is being listened to by an entire family on a smart speaker? That just blows my mind, man. That just blows my mind that I'm being broadcast into people's homes. I can't believe it. What a strange world we're living in. Anyways, I'm so grateful that you were so generous in buying me a coffee. Thank you so much. It really made my morning, as did your lovely message that you wrote, Lisbeth. So thank you. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And same with you guys. I hope you have a great weekend, or you had one, or you're about to have one. If you haven't subscribed to the show yet, please do so by hitting the like button on Spotify or hitting subscribe on the other platforms. Weird AF News is available on all podcast platforms and YouTube as well. So if you're listening on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and hit that little bell next to it. That way you're notified whenever there's a new episode, which is every day. Every day. This is the only 5-day-a-week Weird News podcast in existence. And we're all very proud of that. So anyways, guys, take care. Have a great weekend. And good luck with your life, man.